Welcome to the AFC North Roundtable, a weekly live show featuring top-tier insight and analysis on all things AFC North from the best creators in the division, including Baltimore Ravens creator Sam, Pittsburgh Steelers creator Mark, Cleveland Browns creator Chef Zay, and Cincinnati Bengals creator Zim. Catch the AFC North Roundtable every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern on the AFC North Roundtable YouTube channel. What is up, AFC North football fans, and welcome into another edition of the AFC North Roundtable. Week 5 is in the books, and it was not a good week for the AFC North. Every team within the division loses, except for Mark's Pittsburgh Steelers, because they were home on the couch. 3 losses in the division. Hell, even my Buffalo Bills lost. So it was a terrible week all around. But maybe there's a silver lining for the Cincinnati Bengals, a major trade within the division to discuss tonight. We'll break that down. We'll break down week 5. And on the second half of the episode, we will look forward to week 6, where we preview and predict each game within the division. Let's get after it. Let's bring in the fellas. Mark, Zay, a cozy looking Sam, and Zim Flacco Valley. And that's where we start this evening. A major trade within the AFC North. Joe Flacco has now played for 3 of the 4 teams within this division. Mark, we're just waiting on you to bring Flacco in one time for him to complete the quad box here. Joe Flacco goes from the Cleveland Browns starter to the Cincinnati Bengals starter. He will start this upcoming weekend for Cincinnati. And that's where we begin. Let's break it down. I'm going to start, Zay, with you here first, because this is interesting. You already go into this season with an insane quarterback room in Cleveland. It's just nuts. You don't know what's going to happen. Who's going to rise above? Is it going to be Dylan Gabriel? Is it going to be Shedeur Sanders? Inevitably, we wind up seeing Joe Flacco win the starting job. Then he gets benched. Now it's Dylan Gabriel. And now you move off of Joe Flacco. So you look back going into the season. If we are going to trade Joe Flacco this early into the season, why didn't we just run with one of the rookies to begin with? So where are you at right now, Zay? Where's the Browns fan base at? Because this is a wild move to not only get rid of Flacco, but to give him to your division rival.
Well, I think everybody was shocked with the news because I didn't see it coming. I think Jerry Jeudy said that they didn't see it coming. Kevin Stefanski even kind of said that he didn't expect this move to happen. Jerry Jeudy said the comment where he talked about you would expect him to be around the locker room throughout the year, but then for that to happen like that. So it's definitely weird. I think you're at one of those things where the locker room is slowly starting the leaks are starting to come out a little bit, and you're starting to see that there's a little bit of dysfunction in there. But, you know, the frustrating part with all of that is you waste 207 reps of first team reps or between Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco, and 5 weeks into the season, neither one of those quarterbacks are on the roster. You know, up front, they wanted Kenny Pickett to be the guy moving forward. And the injury kind of put a damper on all of that. So Joe Flacco kind of got handed that position. And then the offense comes out and looks like ass for 18 games straight or however many it is. And you're in the situation now where you got 2 rookie quarterbacks on your hand and you've got 2 first-round picks next year. So what type of, what's the point of having a Joe Flacco as your backup when you've got Dylan and Shedeur? Now, the thing that'll piss me off and will throw me off of 480 Bridge will be if they decide to come Bailey Zappi and we see Bailey Zappi get any action before Shedeur Sanders. I'll have a super problem with that. But fortunately, this is the road that it takes to get to 12. And by all means, the clock is ticking and my watch is set to 12.
Could be that time soon. I'm wondering from your perspective here, Zay, because Dylan Gabriel last week, he wasn't great. It was just a very game manager type outing. Do we see Shedeur Sanders before the end of the year inevitably?
1,000%. I'd be shocked if we didn't see it, because at the end of the day, there's still a lot of money to be made, and that's week 14 when Cam Newton comes into town and you got the number 1 overall pick and you got Shedeur Sanders, and you know the NFL is all about scripts and that. But I also keep going to the schedule for the Cleveland Browns, man. This next 3-game stretch for them is so important for not only Dylan Gabriel, But it's important for Kevin Stefanski because if you can't find a win against the Steelers, the Dolphins, the Patriots, and the Jets, you ain't got no business being on this roster. And then at that point, I don't even want to see Shedeur Sanders with Kevin Stefanski because Dylan Gabriel was your guy and you can't find a way to get a win. So this is probably the most crucial point of football that we've seen since the 2023 stretch that we had.
Sam, I want to talk to you about your former Super Bowl winning quarterback in Joe Flacco. But first, I see we got a blanket on. We got device. What's happening? What's happening over there?
Cold, mate.
We're on life support over here in Baltimore right now. I'm not. I mean, the whole team's on IR. I'm not feeling the greatest. Our team, we're beat up right now. The record's not looking good. I'm not looking good. It's tough right now for Ravens fans. We're not feeling too happy right now. Ready for the bye.
Yeah, I would imagine so. You guys need the bye, but if you're on life support right now, maybe you're ticking closer towards your grave with your former Super Bowl MVP now leading the charge in Cincinnati. What do you make of this? The third team within the North to now be led by Joe Flacco. What are your thoughts on him being the quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals?
I mean, we've all been there. We've all seen those girls over there in high school. We just went to anybody who wanted them, you know. That's what Joe Flacco is. He's the guy. Hey, you like me? I like you too. Then let's make something happen. That's what Joe Flacco is right now to the Cincinnati Bengals. Now I will say it makes a lot of sense. I think they much rather have gone to somebody. I don't know, Jameis Winston. You know, looked pretty good, but you know, Joe Flacco. Probably cheaper for the Bengals in terms of acquisition. The Browns obviously they weren't going to keep him around much anyway because they were going to give Shedeur a chance if Dylan Gabriel didn't get it. So I could see Joe Flacco having success. The Bengals have to do a good job keeping him upright, but you know it's interesting to say the least. I think this is his last year, unless next year he goes to the Steelers. But that would be quite the story for Joe Flacco to have 4 teams under his belt in the same division.
Mark, you're on pace for Aaron Rodgers to hang it up and Flacco to lead the charge for your Steelers. What are you making of all of this?
In the 4 box, I didn't even see fucking Sam's nosing. That's hilarious. Commit to the bit. Joe Flacco has never had this much attention since he won the fucking Super Bowl in 2012. Like, he's the most talked about quarterback right now. I just find the whole storyline really funny. The Browns went all in with Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett to be their quarterbacks for this season. They're now both gone. Now it's back to the rookie quarterbacks being Gabriel and the next bloke, Sanders, which are just waiting for him to play. He's going to play at some stage. And now Cincinnati, they are thinking, we've got a savior. Like, I'm keen to hear Zim too, because it feels like that Joe Flacco is the savior for the Bengals. But I feel a little bit bad for Jake Browning. That bloke is playing, not good football, great football, but the Cincinnati Bengals didn't put them in the best position to win in the offseason. If it was only going to be just Joe Burrow, win or lose, and that's it. What about the other fucking 52 players on the roster? No Joe Burrow, no win. It won't matter if Joe Flacco comes in. He won't be the savior. That's all I've got.
Let's talk to Flacco Valley himself. Let's talk to the man who's about to watch Joe Flacco be QB1 of the Cincinnati Bengals. Zim, are the 2-3 Bengals back?
I think they're back to having fun. I can't say that they're back to, without Joe Burrow. Can I speak on a couple of points that just happened though? One, I can't let Sam
a million points.
I thought that was very interesting, the IR thing. Anybody that knows me from Twitter knows that Ravens fans will hang on to injuries to save themselves. I'm going to do what we call an injury ticker for these dudes every single week on this show, because don't let them fool you. They were getting their ass whooped by the Chiefs before the injuries. This past week, they were only missing 2 guys on offense. That was Ronnie Stanley and Lamar Jackson. The other 4 guys that they were missing on defense are guys that they told us the week before sucked. They told us that Roquan was a bum. Cheeto Wooziad just got cooked the week before. Oh, and also they got back the guy that they said that they wanted the whole time. What's the bro from the Packers? The corner?
Jair.
Jair. So they got him. So we're going to keep track of their injuries all year, because I'm here to tell you, I've studied this species for a long time. Purple people do not take an L. If they're going to lose, it's going to be we beat ourselves or it's going to be injuries. Sam's a great guy, but he's part of the culture too. I'm going to cook you every single week, and we're going to keep track of those injuries because I'm not going to let you off the hook with that. Mark, you said what was the plan for Jake Brown and everything like that? ESPN actually wrote an article on this, and Jake Browning was awarded the second best backup in all of the NFL prior to the season. So, yes, Joe Burrow goes down. He gets hurt. It's unfortunate. Jake Browning was the plan. They extended him. Didn't work out. He sucked. Now I'm Flaccavelli, and I'm back. And I would also like to say that this whole entire show, Zay here has been telling us about how good Flacco was going to hold down the fort. He was going to do all of this stuff. I begged him. I said, Zay, why are y'all playing this dude all these different weeks? To have him come on the show now and not give his I'm big bro at this point. To not have you give me credit for calling this out, and now you're telling me, oh, yeah, we should have gave those reps. I told you that on week 1. That was the whole thing. I said, what are y'all doing giving this dude reps when you got 2 rookies? And I'm gonna tell you another thing about the Browns. They are a very unserious organization. In fact, I'm gonna tell you how unserious they are. They will tell you about how they play Johnny Manziel doing drugs, drinking, and all this other stuff. They go online and cook their own quarterback, Shador, on a weekly basis. And I'm going to keep this so football. But they're starting a race war, in my opinion, with the whole Shador thing to begin with. That's the main reason why I kept on saying, bro, just play this dude. Because now I'm going to tell you what they're going to do. Just like politicians and how everything works. If he fails, they're going to say, oh, it was Stefanski's fault. If he does really well, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, you should have played him the whole time and all this other stuff. Cleveland Browns are an organization that is only about drama, storylines, and stupid shit. The reason why they sent this Joe Flacco is because they love drama and stupid shit. Why would you give a quarterback to a team that is dead in the water? Like, say that this dude wins 2 games. I'm not helping no Cleveland Browns with that shit. Ain't no way you could justify you did a pick swap 5th and 6th round. So at most you might have came up like 20 to 40 picks. Who gives a shit? I can't draft in the 6th or 7th round anyway. So you gave me a quarterback for free when I was dead and I was about to drown in the water. Flaccavelli is here. Like, we're airing that shit out. And I got the weapons. 18 seasons later, this the most weapons this boy has ever thrown to in his life. And a lot of y'all talking about the Bengals offensive line. I'm going to tell y'all, it looked a lot better with Browning. I'm just putting that out there.
Damn, what you trying to say?
Drop the mic. Zay, I'll let you respond because that was an all-time. I mean, the Browns were just roasting over an open flame, and Zim had the spatula.
We know how Zim likes to talk about everything but what really matters. And what really matters is, Joe Flacco was the emergency. And unfortunately, we have a coach who is incompetent of doing anything in terms of putting their players in position to succeed, which is why Odell's dad did the ultimate twin tower bomb on our ass from the top rope, Jim Ross style. And that's why we're still here now, because, unfortunately, there may be some truth to what Zim said, where the Browns are they love their drama. And one thing that drama is doing right now is it's going to bring the clicks and the attention to a guy who's trying to put $2.1 billion into the Cleveland economy right now. So there's other things and other priorities, unfortunately, it feels like, surrounding the Cleveland Browns. And we going to have to see. It would be nice if we can get a Hugh Jackson around here so we can talk about something real quick, because I find it very interesting how the Cleveland Browns are very content with 4-18 and not being able to score 15 points and not doing all these things. And you got a guy in Hugh Jackson who was on record talking about they paid me a pretty good penny to lose those games. So it's feeling a lot of resemblance. Like, so I've been telling y'all what I've been saying. Brook Park is when we gonna really take a shot at this thing. Until then, we just floating on and treading water.
So who won or lost a trade?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to ask here, Zim. Browns dysfunction aside. Yeah, Browns dysfunction aside.
We both did.
I think it's a bit of a wait and see, but just thinking ahead of this, do you know how idiotic that would be? Like, bro, they literally gave us a free quarterback. Like, if this dude wins 1 game, I feel like the Bengals, the only way that they could win this, if Joe Flacco comes out there and just throws 5 picks and it's the worst thing you've ever seen.
Well, no,
but if he gets one win, I'm looking at you like, why would you help? I would never help anybody. None of these blokes. I'm not sending you.
I don't think it's about the help though. I think it's more so about it's about making the path easier for Dylan and Shador to play. That's what it's really about when it's all said and done.
Joe Flacco is a pro. If he can't deal with it,
Andrew Berry is a sucker for any type of finesse that he sees like value. I mean, we traded up from the 6th round pick to get Shador in the 5th. We've traded a 5th round pick and included it into something else. I'm not saying it's smart. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. I'm telling you, Andrew Berry is a sucker for a good deal. And you're telling us.
I think you're going to be sick.
Hey, listen,
I think you're going to be sick. If Joe Flacco, if you cut on your TV at 4 o'clock coming out Sunday,
you know I am.
And Joe Flacco is throwing a bomb to T. And throwing a bomb to T. Higgins, you're gonna be sick.
But guess what? Guess why I'm gonna be mad though? I'm not gonna be mad that they traded him. I'm gonna be mad that Kevin Stefanski couldn't figure out a way to do exactly what we saw him do in 2023. That's my problem. So we know Joe Flacco can throw the ball. That was never the problem. What the problem to me is that you did a dumb and down version offense in 2023, and it was thriving where we were averaging 25 points per game and over 300 yards passing through the air. And then you come out with a whole off season to gear your offense to Joe Flacco, and you turn into Deshaun Watson 4.0. Because every other quarterback that has got into the Kevin Stefanski system had the same exact results. And Dylan Gabriel is on the path to do the same exact thing. So it's more of an indictment on Kevin Stefanski that he couldn't get the most out of Joe Flacco, because at least Zach Taylor would be smart enough to be like, you know what? If anything, Joe going to be like, fuck it. T and Jamar are down there somewhere. We throwing it.
I don't know. I wouldn't give Zach Taylor credit for anything. Joe Burrow runs the whole show. But I will say this. You brought up the name Deshaun Watson.
He'll be playing, probably.
I'm trying to tell y'all that the Cleveland Browns are not interested in having a normal winning for like Deshaun Watson even in the mix. And like, isn't he going to be available by like week 9? I think
he'll be. They're going to activate. There's no way they don't activate him.
That's crazy. So now you got a whole nother person. Now look, now the war that the civil war that you have now was Shador versus Dylan. Now you're going to have Shador enthusiasts fighting with what y'all call it. That was calling Deshaun Watson Black Jesus on Twitter like a year ago or whatever.
I ain't never seen that.
I've seen it. Now you're going to have the Shadorists now fighting with Deshaun Watson guys like coming up soon. I don't understand why they want drama so bad. Like, I don't get it.
Because they want to they just want to get to Brook Park, bro. I'm telling you so bad. Billionaires are so power hungry, and they are so fixated on doing things their way. Why would they win on this soil with Art Modell and Paul Brown history and the piss poor misery of 30 plus years of assness? Like, there's no point. He didn't turn a $999 million investment into $5.1 billion. Now he's moving this whole operation, and anything that happens moving forward, he's gonna get the credit for it. It's gonna be all fresh new history. So like right now, he really don't give a damn what's going on. He just want to get the Brook Park. That's all it is.
Scrap the whole season, fellas. 2025 is over for everyone except me. Let's just move on.
Oh my god!
We're talking about 2026
you coming
next
down
year.
with us too, boy.
Hey Sam, you're gonna have to send that IR pack. You're gonna have to send that emergency pack all the way to this bloke in Australia in a couple of weeks.
You got to personally. Are you a doctor? You got to fly out
worry about some new stadium and somewhere else. It's week 5 going to week 6. Absolutely wild. He's all checked out already. Whole big season to go.
The confidence in Mark right now,
is gold. You guys are all worried about 26 and Joe Burrow next year and this guy that
you
year.
About to be soon.
This feel like deja vu. You said this last year.
This last year.
He had the glasses on.
I'm not trying to take over, but I do want to.
You guys can't fucking watch your TV. You don't want to watch your games.
Z-Bot, from an outside opinion looking in, what do you think is the record that wins the AFC North?
Wow, right now?
5 wins for me.
I think 9-8 could probably win the division right now.
Oh, we gonna get that. Ravens on top. Sorry.
I mean, I could see it. I don't think the Steelers are gonna.
This week, Sam?
The Rams.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Come on. I mean, you got the Packers, right, Zim? Like, I think Pittsburgh at some point is going to have their moment, like you guys are talking about. I can't see them going 13-4.
I beat the Packers with my quarterback.
So I want to talk to you about your quarterback before we transition.
Defense, though.
Browns dysfunction aside, Zim, I want to know your assessment right now of the Bengals with Joe Flacco. I mean, what do you make of this beyond the optics? Like, what are the Bengals now with Joe Flacco?
I think they're the same non-running football team that doesn't really have. They have $70 million within 2 wide receivers, right? There is no secret. The reason why anyone still brings up the Bengals or even puts them in any conversation outside of me being a Bengals fan is because the Bengals' weapons, the skill positions of tight end Noah Fant, Chase Brown, like everybody's super healthy, right? The problem is the play calling and all these different things going on and no run game. I think there are very few players in the NFL that can operate and do that. I don't even think some of the most elite quarterbacks that everybody slips off like every single day on my timeline, I don't think that they're capable of dropping back 45 plus times. I just don't. Because when you do and you're forced to it and the other team knows that you're passing, you're in a lot of trouble.
You're the Cleveland Browns.
And that's why Joe Burrow to me is so much better than whoever y'all talking about. And I stand on that to the end of time. But I will say this. Joe Flacco is not Joe Burrow. Joe Flacco, though, pre-snap and the stuff that we did see, like Jake Browning passing up 2nd and 5s and throwing picks, throwing reds up. Bro, the Lions only scored 14 points in the first half of the football game. We had multiple shots to go back and get them dudes. Go back and at least bomb back. I can't say that we would have won. I just think that Joe Flacco is set up more for a throwing offense where we wanted that dumbed down offense for Jake Browning. But when you're down on the scoreboard and you have no run game, there is no choice but to go to somebody and just throw. And will he succeed? I don't know. I think the offensive line is a lot better pass blocking than what people give them credit for. But with a bad run game, I don't really have that. The expectations aren't as high. If anybody watched that game, though, I will say that the Bengals defense is getting better. David Montgomery only ran for 3.5 yards a carry. Gibbs only had 50 yards. They looked okay. There are times where they looked okay. And I think Flacco is smart enough to get the ball to the weapons. And like I said earlier, Flacco has never played with a set of weapons like this. Jake Browning, teams were daring him to throw over the middle. What did Zay come on the show talking about? Harold Fanta Jr. What does the Bengals have? Noah Fant, Mike Gesicki, Drew Sample, and Tanner Hudson, and Andre Yoshivas, and a whole bunch of weapons that can go over the middle, including the best wide receiver in football, and Jamar Chase. So I just think that maybe that enhances us and makes it fun to talk about Bengals football. I don't know without a complete full team. I can't say how much of an impact he'll have on the record. But the reason why I asked you that question, Z-Bot, is because if all he got to do is win 3-4 games and hold it down for now, the Joe Burrow stuff is starting to heat up. Dan Orlovsky said that he thinks that Burrow might be back late, like in November. And other people like Jamar said he doesn't want him on the sideline because he says he needs all the time in the world to heal up fast. And I'm going to tell you my last point. The Bengals aren't doing any of this if they don't think Joe Burrow has a chance to come back. So I just put that out there. If he can win a couple of games, like I said, to do a pick swap, I just think that is ridiculous. Like I'm happy because it gives me life, but I think for the Browns to send us that, I think it might go down as one of the dumbest things that's ever happened in the history of football if this dude wins games.
Well, it's a great point you make because they wouldn't make this move if they didn't think that, or they wouldn't do this if they weren't trying to win games. And at 2-3, the same record as the reigning AFC champions and the Kansas City Chiefs. You look at the AFC right now, the 1 seed is Daniel Jones and the Indianapolis Colts. This thing is wide open. So if Flacco is able to win a couple of games that maybe the Bengals wouldn't have won with Jake Browning, and then Burrow comes back earlier than expected, Yeah, I mean, you're making some great points here because not only is this the reason why you make the move, but it's also even more foolish on the end of the Browns to make a move like this if it does end up benefiting the Cincinnati Bengals. So
we were dead without
just a
Browning.
ton.
Dead with Browning. I don't know if anybody saw any Browning football, he was awful. We were dead with him. For anybody to throw us a lifeline, I think it's incredible. Thank you, Cleveland. Appreciate you.
You're always looking out for you, Zim. You know how I got you. You got to set them TVs together somehow.
You know, I was out in the parking lot with it. Now you got me like, I'm inside. It's about to get cold outside. You know what I mean? Here we go.
Well, let's talk about we'll talk about Joe Flacco a bit more when we preview week 6. We'll see what he can do this upcoming week against the Packers. But let's talk about week 5. Let's get into it. Let's dive into what we saw this past week. And we kicked things off in week 5 in the early morning with the Cleveland Browns taking on Mark's Pittsburgh Steelers out in Ireland. And Mark, you were in attendance. Excuse me, I'm totally on the wrong page. That's the game we have coming up this weekend. Mark, I was confusing myself because you were across the pond, or at least across the pond for us, a couple of weeks ago for your game that you watched before Pittsburgh went on the bye week. Let's talk about the game that actually happened in week 5 as I try to get my bearings here. And where are we here? Yeah, there we go. Cleveland playing in the morning against the Minnesota Vikings, narrowly losing 21-17. Minnesota somehow pulled that game off. Cleveland could have had this one. Really could have pulled it off in the morning. Did not end up getting it done. So Cleveland does wind up dropping this game and moving to 1-4. Mark, I'll start with you here. Browns, Vikings. What was your takeaway from the early morning matchup?
So I saw the highlights. I was at a pub here in Germany watching it too. Look, like I said last time, I just don't think the Vikings were going to allow a rookie quarterback to have his first start overseas get the victory. But they were quite competitive in that game. They do have a good defense, but it came down to the last drive and the Vikings won. I just think that was, benefit to the Vikings winning that game. And then so the fellas have been saying, who of the Steelers played yet? Well, 2 teams in our division have played the Vikings and we beat them, and they've beat your 2 teams. So I find that interesting, but I think the defense from the Vikings and going in the field to win that game was something that they, put on show right at the end and made a good pass to get a touchdown, 21-17. I think it was a good effort from Gabriel, but they came with a loss, and that's what normally happens with Browns football.
Yeah, that seems to be the common occurrence, unfortunately, for Cleveland fans. Sam, what did you make of Browns, Minnesota on Sunday morning?
Take away the score and the outcome. I like what I saw from the Browns. I am still on the hype train of the Cleveland Browns because their defense is still by far the best in football. There is no close second, in my opinion. I think the Browns are just that good on defense. Every time I see them make a play, even when they give up big yardage, it's usually because the other team did something crazy or good or what have you. But I think the Browns fundamentally are just the best team in football, and I'm still waiting to see what their QB does. From what I saw from Dylan Gabriel, man, he was missing some shots in that contest. That has been wondering about Shadur, has been wondering what this team is going to do, and that's what makes the trade for Joe Flacco a little more interesting, I should say, because Joe Flacco probably gives them the best chance to win right now. But they got rid of it, whatever. But still, that defense is good. Fortunately, they lose this game. They're going to continue to lose games like this against quality teams because, of course, the QB play is what makes the dream go round over in the NFL. So I think the Browns still not far away from being a contending team, just not there yet.
Zim, what are you making of Cleveland right now? Obviously, we know your thoughts on the state of the organization in and of itself, but what did you make of the game on Sunday morning?
I thought Sam is 100% correct. That defense is dangerous. Carson Schlesinger is a guy that I wanted to draft. I probably mentioned that on the show a couple of times. I thought I think he's excellent. I wanted him and Jahad Campbell to see both of them the highest graded linebackers in football. Like, does piss me off. But I thought defensively they look good. But the other thing that I was just thinking as I did watch, some of their game is how well, I think that they're set up in a bunch of different spots for the future. And I think this is the reason why, in my mind, they should have always been playing like a quarterback, like, that, because they need to know you cannot waste any time. Like, if it's just 1 year, like, I'm living proof of this. If it's just 1 year that you lose of a rookie deal on a contract, that's important. And 2 years from now, you'll be looking back like, damn, like we could have did, you know what I mean? Like, so to me, that's always my takeaway when I watch them is like, get them young guys in there, start to line up their ducks. Cause I feel like draft capital wise, they're doing a lot of good stuff. As much as I'm very critical on this Flacco one, if Flacco ends up being trash, right? Then they did gain like 30 to 40 spots or whatever, like in the draft. So that would be a bonus. I just don't see a scenario where I think he's just complete trash, but I don't know. But I think as I watched him, I said, man, a lot of these teams better get ready for if they do it correctly. If they do it correctly, and a lot of it is luck too, and you got to have a legit quarterback right there for him. But I think like Quinshawn Judkins or whatever, I think that he's the real deal. He's the real deal. So I was really like more so scouting out what did I like, what I don't like, and those guys like Fannin and these guys like that, they stand out, man. So I think they're in a good spot. They just got to finish it out. And the one part is you really can't control. That's why I've never been a big person on try to go get the best draft pick. How about the Kansas City Chiefs just had the 31st pick in the draft and probably have their left tackle of the future. I don't know if anybody's seen the Cowboys O-line right now. Like they're all UDFAs and everything like that. So like tanking or doing less, like I just don't believe in that unless it's for a quarterback. And as it stands right now, I don't watch college football as much. I just don't think that guy is right there in my opinion, but somebody could tell me, prove me wrong, I'm sure. But that's what I was thinking about. It was like, how well are they set up for the future and how will they do it? And can they do it without giving up picks? Like I always hear people say, well, they should just give up picks to they could just give up that to go. You might don't even have to do that. You don't. You could keep all of that and then have like all this talent, like, right there at your disposal. So we'll see how it goes.
Zay, this is a bummer, right? Because you have the lead with a minute left in the fourth quarter here. And if the Browns win this game, crazy enough, they're in the thick of things in the AFC North, but they drop it with 25 seconds left on the clock. What did you make of the game overall? And of course, what did you make of Dylan Gabriel here? 19 to 33, 190 and 2 touchdowns. So what was your overall assessment of Sunday morning?
Yeah, this is Kevin Stefanski. Right here. Just an idiot. Just an idiot. Just absolute stupidity. My breaking point is what I thought. It was the final straw. It was the back that broke. It was the crack that I stepped on. All of the above, because yet again, you look at this damn play-by-play and you see how the drive goes where it's just like, why we have 34 punts with 5 plays or less, or 6 plays or less that are under 20 yards that resulted in basically a 3 and out in the first 5 games of the season. Like when you have it makes me even more upset because like Dylan airmailed a lot of passes. There's some throws, anything past 10 was bad, but at the end of the day, he took care of the ball. He did have 2 touchdowns. He did give you the lead in the fourth quarter with 3 minutes to go, and you did absolutely nothing to put him in position to go out there and win. After you get a forced fumble, after they bless you and miss a field goal, you just reward the defense with a 3 and out. And then you waste 3 timeouts. Can you guys refresh me if I'm wrong? Never in the history of football has time ever been against you when you have a lead, right? Like, I'm thinking that's the right logic, but somehow we're manifesting our own destiny because Kevin Stefanski says, and I quote, he goes, well, we wanted to, just in case they score, we wanted to give our guys a chance. So you're speaking fear into existence. That's real good. That's real great leadership on your part. I don't think Ray Lewis has ever said, hey guys, if we get back out, if we don't get back out on this field next, then the offense is gonna score for us. Like what are we talking about? So I'm pretty much absolutely fed up with Kevin Stefanski and everything that he has to offer in terms of the offense. you got a running back who is a godsend after having Nick Chubb, because it looks like he is Nick Chubb 2.0 with a different type of gear. So I'm excited to see where that goes. You still have yet to find ways to get 6'6" David Njoku more than 5 or 6 targets per game. Jerry Jeudy is still an absolute non-factor. And we still have yet to score 20 points. So as long as teams are scoring 18 points or more right now, they more than likely are going to beat us, because Kevin Stefanski doesn't know how to score more than 20 points. So my takeaway is fire Kevin Stefanski as soon as possible. And as much as I don't want to lose these next few games, I think if you lose the next 2 or 3 games in a row, you're probably gone. So if that's what it's going to take, then so be it.
Wow, Kevin Stefanski officially on the hot seat. Zay has had enough. One of the reasons I feel like you're not satisfied, not only with Kevin Stefanski, he doesn't have anything to say in the matter here, but not satisfied with the Browns right now. You ship away Joe Flacco to Zim's Bengals, and I think one of the reasons why the Bengals made that move, among many, is because, of course, Jake Browning was not good taking over for Joe Burrow. 8 interceptions in 4 games. 3 of the 4 with multiple interceptions in each. So it was bad enough to where the Bengals had to make a move. They did, and it was bad this past weekend for Jake Browning with 3 interceptions against the Lions and the Bengals 37-24 loss. Mark, Bengals fall to 2-3, losing to the Detroit Lions. What did you make of that game on Sunday?
So Lions obviously are a very, very tough team. Lions are one of the probably the best teams in the NFL, if not also the NFC. Have a great chance to represent themselves in the Super Bowl. The Bengals came back, tried to be a bit competitive, but the reason why they made that trade for Joe Flacco to come over to be the savior is because Jake Brown and the offense stunk. You know, they have. I saw this game as well with the highlights, but I was also at the pub as well down in Munich watching it. Every time I looked over, Lions were just taking them to town, up by a big lead, and the Bengals came back. But the loss goes on him. I think he threw like 3 interceptions. I did say a couple of weeks ago they will not win another game with Jake Brown. Does Joe Flacco give them a chance? Possibly. But they're in shambles right now. No Joe Burrow, no win. And I was very happy to see the Lions smash them.
Lions did indeed smash him. Jared Goff on the other end of things. The quarterback play for Browning wasn't good, but the quarterback play for Jared Goff was exceptional. 19-23, 258, 3 touchdowns in this game to help the Lions get it done. Sam, what'd you make of Lions-Bengals?
This is what I was expecting to happen. I mean, it's just no Joe Burrow, no shot. It's just the way it is. The team isn't constructed in a way that you can win without that guy. And I mean, I get why you would create the roster the way it is, because you do have a top 5 quarterback in Joe Burrow, I should say, to work with. So I get it. But without him, no shot. But I will say the Bengals did play better in this game than I expected, especially in the first half. I thought that the Bengals showed some heart, something that the Ravens have not shown since that week 1 game against the Bills. So I will give them credit for that. But when it comes to X's and O's, you need a QB that's going to get the ball to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. And I'm not saying Joe Flacco's that guy. In fact, I have concerns with that offensive line, even though Zim is propping up that offensive line to do something. I still don't know if he has the processing time that a Joe Burrow would have to get the ball out quick enough that the O-line doesn't really affect him. I think what you'll see is a lot more dump-offs, and maybe that works to the benefit of the Bengals. Maybe that means if you try and come down and protect the flats in the middle of that defense with Joe Flacco and the way he does it, maybe you get lucky and get a shut down the field. And maybe that's what the Bengals are hoping for. But when it comes down to it, this Bengals team isn't going to go anywhere without Joe Burrow. If Joe Burrow comes back at the end of November and this team is 5-5, then yes, they have a shot to make a division title out of it. But right now,
Zay, what did you make of Cincinnati taking on the Lions?
I ain't paid 1 cent to them ever since Joe Burrow went down. There's no point. There is honestly no point. All you see is just it's a statistic here, interception, another interception, another interception. That boy Oprah Winfrey over there. So I'm gonna be a little bit tuned in now, though. Definitely gonna be tuned in now. You know, you obviously already beat the Packers. You got the Steelers coming up. You got the Jets, who he is a fan of playing against for some reason. I don't know. He liked kicking the Jets' ass. Then you got the Bears. So you got a couple stretches here where Joe Flacco can make some magic. But the offensive line, I look at it like this. If they weren't going to protect Joe Burrow, what make you think they're going to protect Joe Flacco? So I couldn't care less about the game this past week, but I will be watching this week. I do think that, this is by far, I don't think it's even close. This is the best weapons that he has ever had in his entire career, even dating back to Baltimore days. Jacob, you had Anquan Boldin,
yeah.
Steve Smith, but that was all at the end of their career. I don't think he's had anything close to this type of talent. So if I'm Joe Flacco, I'm super excited. And at the end of the day, I know, hey, if I throw it anywhere in the vicinity of 5-1, it's more than likely being caught. So I'll be paying attention next week.
All right, Zim, talk to me. Obviously, this felt like the nail in the coffin here for Jake Browning, of course. And so what did you make of what you saw in that game? And were you ready to move off of him during it? And obviously, with the move being made for Joe Flacco, you're watching that game, you're feeling, I'm sure, it's time to do something here.
Yeah, I mean, he's a hot pocket of ass. Hey, Sam.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask you, you know what I was thinking when we got Joe Flacco?
What's up?
How he was going to bomb on your trash ass defense. That was the first thing that I thought. You're statistically the worst defense in the NFL, on pace to allow the most yards in the NFL. In the history of NFL to allow the most points. I think Joe Flacco is going to I like my chances against you, Sam. That was my first thought.
That's crazy.
I wanted to let you inside the mind of Zim. I like Joe Flacco versus you. That's what I think. I think that if the Bengals don't do anything this whole season, and I get 8 off my timeline, and I get to see 16 cook you up.
Is it his internet or is it me?
What, you can't hear him?
That's you. On mine.
That's you, Z.
My bad. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just going to say, I thought you guys were laughing in the background or something. And I'm like, wait a minute. Is this a robotic on my end or everyone's end? Zim, keep going. My bad.
I was just telling him, I just like that. I just like 16. You know, that's his new number, right, guys?
Yeah.
Who's 16?
Joe Burrow. Joe Flacco.
Flacco? Oh, that's the number?
Flaccavelli.
Oh, yeah, I like it.
You going to like it. Hey, Thanksgiving. It's gonna
he might not even make it that far though. Why you looking so far ahead?
He's not gonna make it. Why y'all? Hold on, y'all. Let me think. Let me ask y'all this. Y'all think the Browns offensive line better than the Bengals offensive line?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
where?
I listen. The only thing I think
I got Orlando Brown on the left. I got one of the highest rated guards at left guard.
And you got Joe Burrow on IR. That's
Joe Burrow. But Joe Burrow didn't get hurt from the offensive line. Joe Burrow got hurt from moving around in a pocket trying to improvise and do too much one day and it hurt his toe. The reason why Browning, I'm not saying that Joe Flacco not gonna get sacked. Sure, he's gonna get sacked. He's old as shit. But the reason why Jake Browning, why we were so mad at Jake Browning, is if you watch that game, Burrow had hella time. That's the Lions game.
He gonna eat then if he got time.
Hella time. Forget that game. Cool. The reason why everybody was so mad is because he had so much time. Amarius Mims was y'all. I don't know if y'all know the Bengals offensive line. It's not that bad. It's just they have no run game.
If Joe Flacco can get some time, y'all gonna have a field day.
If he gets time, you guys are gonna cook.
I'm trying to tell you, and I'm gonna tell you, he won't get the ball. If he just gets the ball out, Jake Browning, literally, he took a safety. Look, at the end of the game, Bengals had a chance to go kick a field goal. They would have been hypothetically down 8. Instead, we down 11. We get the ball back. This dude takes a safety. Plenty of time. If you go watch a lot of his dropbacks, it's a lot of time. That's all I'm gonna say. But the one thing I will say is the run game is bad though.
The key is going to have to be keeping him upright early so he could. One thing I noticed this year, which was different in 2023, was if he started to get hit early, he started to see ghosts, which was weird for Joe Flacco because he started holding on to the ball a little bit longer. He started making those little airmail decisions. So if you can let Joe Flacco process early in the game and then take the hits, you got something going. But if he get hit early out the gate, it's going to be a long day.
That was the old Flacco. This is the Bengals Flacco.
This week to week now. It's okay when it's okay.
It's different. I will say this too. Before I went to sleep, I went back and I played one of your videos. Like I sit around, I watch Zay videos all the time. You guys make sure you guys subscribe to him. He's a Flacco fan, so to see Flacco over here on this side, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised, Zay.
Hey, you got my Flacco. I'm gonna support that man wherever he go now, man. I just not against us.
Yeah, but sorry, Z-Bot. I had to tell Sam that I just think that, no disrespect to those injuries, your defensive line is dog shit, and I don't think that you can expose anything on the Bengals in that department. You better hope that Lamar goes up against all those bums that we did in 2019 where he could get some spin moves in or something like that, because I feel like I'm gonna put the same points I've been putting on you every single year. And that was my first thought. Like, these guys, they brag about so that what y'all don't know is that these purple people, they brag about like Joe Burrow throwing for 900 yards in 2 games. And I'm thinking like their defense got worse. I don't know. Like, I just think that Joe Flacco's going. I like that matchup. I think that I wouldn't eat too much Thanksgiving that day. I don't want you to throw up or be sick or hooked up to IRs and shit like that. I'm a good guy.
Well, unfortunately, right now, Ravens fans are sick. The majority of them are hooked up to life support after what they saw on Sunday, what they've seen up until this point. The Ravens fall to 1-4, losing 44-10 to the Houston Texans, a team that had no offense up until week 4. We learned Cooper Rush is certainly no Lamar Jackson. 14-20, 179, 3 interceptions, and this Baltimore Ravens defense continues to get eviscerated, allowing 44 points to Houston at home. Mark, what are you making of Baltimore right now?
They're fucking terrible. What do you mean? What are you making? 44 to what? 44 to 10 or something like that. The Baltimore Ravens, their fan base right now should be on fire because their defense has allowed the most points in the NFL through 5 weeks, and they're 1-4. And Lamar Jackson and their offense it's unbelievable when it's true and on fire. And yes, we had injuries exist in the NFL. I don't want to hear too many excuses, but you have to say without those players there, I think there's like 4 or 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 players that are out that are definitely, a big part of their team, including the defense. However, they're laying 44 points in your house. It's embarrassing. And it's for the Ravens. Probably hasn't happened for a long time, and they need to fix a lot of things. And it comes down to attitude, comes down to heart and play, and all these things. And they're a 1-4 team right now, and they're going to verse a tough team versus the Rams next week. I think it's they just haven't got a game plan that doesn't involve Lamar Jackson or what they normally do.
It's never happened, by the way. Put some respect. It's never happened. Ass whooping like that.
Unprecedented.
First of its kind. That belt to ass will be on your ass for the rest of your life, Sam.
Yes, sir. This is what I signed up for. I didn't think we would get this season. Like, this is beautiful. Sam, you're in a different spot. This is a different chair.
Yeah, this is where I'm gonna take the floor right now, because you talk about a different spot. Like, this is exactly what it feels like when it's very similar to how NBA players are trying to make a point, right? Like, this is so out of character. Like, Sam, can you bring Sam up real quick? Because I gotta see Sam's face when I ask him this question. Is it to a point now where the players are trying to dictate their own outcome in terms of a change within the locker room? Because you get blown out like this at home, that's not a coincidence. That's not just happening. Like, is there some sort of that eternal thing to a point now where it's like, okay, we either gonna have to choose Lamar in his way, or we gonna have to choose John Harbaugh in his way? And is it kind of like a power struggle battle right now? Because this 44-10 to a Texas team that was,
that Texas defense is nasty though.
It is nasty. Well, I'll talk about that later. I'll let you get your point. But yeah, it's not yet. To answer your question, not yet. But
So what exactly is that breaking point? Because I feel like you're playing the Rams, which is going to be a tough game in itself. If Lamar Jackson not back, it's really going to be tough. Then you got a Bears team where you're going to have to probably put up some points, and Ben Johnson probably licking his chops right now. Then you got the Dolphins. So, I mean, he come back to the Dolphins and that's his game where you go on the stretch. But, like, at that point, is it too far gone? Like, I feel like it's at this point of the season where maybe I'm just I want everybody's locker room to crumble. There's so much eternal thing, but like it feels like everyone in the division has some sort of crossroad that they're at. Steelers have Mike Tomlin crossroad. John Harbaugh is the crossroad for the Ravens. The Bengals are at the injury prone and Zach Taylor thing with the crossroad here, and the Browns are the Browns, which we're always at that crossroad. And it just feels like it's all waiting to crumble. So I don't know. It looks familiar. I would love to see Lamar Jackson not make it to the playoffs because that would be very interesting for the 2026 year and the contract talks and extension and stuff like that, which would really shake up the AFC North. So that's why I just want to know, like, is this a power thing? Is this a Lamar not happy thing? Like, what is it? You got to let me know because I got my notepad.
It's not. It's none of that. You want me to start? Or I'll let Zim talk first, but get your pad ready because I got some stuff for you.
Sam's locked and loaded. Yeah, don't you worry. He's coming in hot. Sam, go ahead.
When Zay said that, I noticed Mark's face, and I'm here to tell you.
Bring Mark Tomlin to what? 3-1. Don't get it.
Right. And I want to address that. I have more faith, as much trash as I talked about the Ravens, like defensive line, I have more faith in the Ravens winning the division than you still. That's That's how far.
Wow.
Like, yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
It's
wild. Not.
What money are they?
It's not.
Oh, this is fucking my money. I'm not spending. No, go to the bank and put your fucking.
Do you think that I'm going to bet for the Ravens? Hell no. But for the sake of entertainment and the sake of I just think that you're just waiting to get a pair of diapers to shit your pants too. It's coming.
They lost games with Lamar Jackson as well. Like, let's not kid ourselves. You know,
I think when bro come back.
For them to be favored or say they're going to win the North, I think is a bit wild at this stage.
It is wild, but
Vegas got them at plus 140.
Hey, bro, but their offense with the explosive plays and just with all due respect, as much. I remember all the things I just said were about their defense. When he comes back, they're going to score a lot of points. Like I can't say the same thing about you. I don't think that you're going to score. I'm sorry. Let's go to the game. Baltimore Ravens versus the Houston Texans. I'm so sorry, Z-Bot, that I'm like going so off.
No, go for it. There's a lot to break down here, unfortunately for Sam.
Yeah, this was one of them episodes. In that game, it just was a belt waiting. Like, that's a tough matchup. I think the Rams matchup coming up, that defensive line is no joke either. So, and offensively, they're gonna score some points too. So I just think that without, an elite quarterback, you're not going to be able to contend, right? Like, that's what you would say about my team. I just feel like the same way with them. They ran into it, to give them credit. They've ran into the worst matchups I think you could have, right? Then they play the Bills, the Chiefs, Texans. Who else y'all playing? Lions. Like, that's brutal. But we knew that before the schedule came out. But nobody said, like, man, I think, like, they all thought, Sam, he was going to lose, 1-2 games the whole season. So, like, nobody thought, even with that, that's how arrogant purple people are. But at the same time, I'd be lying to say that, like, bro, like, you lost your starting quarterback. So, like, that in itself, it has a domino effect. And I think a lot of people are learning as we go along. Defense doesn't control every aspect of what you see on a box score or whatever. If your offense isn't producing, then you're putting your defense in bad spots. And then when I look at the Ravens team, like I said here a couple of weeks ago, I just think that their defensive line is a bottom 3 defensive line in football. I've seen people on the timeline be like, well, we got rid of Owe and we're going to go get Max Crosby or go get one person can't solve that, in my opinion. I don't think one player could solve that. If they went out and got the best, if they went and got Jeff Simmons, one person can't solve that. I think that their defensive line is that bad. Like, I watch a lot of football, and I think that is the bigger issue. And I think that even when he comes back, he's going to be in a position that he's never been before, and you're going to see him get hit more than he's ever been hit before because Lamar always plays with a lead. He always has all pros, and he always has the Pro Bowlers, and he always has a lead. When you take away a team's the ability to say we don't know if they're running or passing, it exposes a lot of people. And I'm not trying to pick on it or anything like that, but Josh Allen without a run game looks very different than Josh Allen with a balanced offense now with Brady and at the helm and what they were doing before. If you ask Josh Allen to drop back 40 times, sure, he could do it, but that's not what makes them really good. And I think the Ravens have been a benefit of that for years, is that if you get lined up with Lamar Jackson, whoever's at the running back position, you're going to get over 4.5 yards a carry. I studied this. You guys, any of them bums, y'all would run out, what's the dude, Gus Edwards and all these bums like that aren't even probably in the league anymore. Anybody in the backfield with Lamar Jackson, the threat of the run, but once you take away the threat of the run because your defense is giving it up like a Australian hooker, then the floodgates open. Yeah, I heard
Australian.
They're different out there.
Hookers for?
I don't know, bro. I just thought they were different out there. But when they're giving it up like that, bro, it changes everything. Now Derrick Henry can't be on the field as much. Now when he is on the field, it's kind of a tail sign. Like, these are all aspects that everybody never gave my team context. And I've seen it all happen, and it's happening right now. And I feel like the Ravens told us how bad my defense was all year. And I think you're finding out, like, when you have a bad defense, how it hurts the offense just as much. Like, all the plays that you would have ran, that shit ain't open no more. And I don't think that's going to stop. They're still going to score a bunch of points when Buddy comes back. But that defensive line is no good. And that is the bigger issue.
Sam, Zay's been waiting patiently with his pen and paper. Go ahead and fill it up for him.
All right, well, here it is. Let's first, and I know I hate mentioning this, but we got to start with the injuries. The injuries are part of this. I know people are like, oh, no, you can't talk about injuries, but it's part of it. Not like $150 million worth of salary cap is injured right now, including Nnamdi Madubuike and the guys that were injured. That's crazy. That's crazy to think about. So let's put that in a box. It's there. We're still ass. We're still putrid across the board. We're terrible, especially in the trenches where it matters the most. Our offensive line, not consistent, not good. Our best offensive lineman is Daniel Faalele. He's the best. And everybody wants to knock him for being a poor guard. He might be poor, but that kind of speaks to what I'm saying as far as the rest of the offensive line being really bad, especially when it comes to run blocking, where Derrick Henry is struggling. Speaking of Derrick Henry, even though, yes, without Lamar Jackson, he's not much of a threat, but his carries per yardage after taking a hit is down by 1.5 yards. So even getting contact in the backfield, yes, but he's got hit in the backfield before, and he's been able to trudge along. So he's suffering a little bit. He's regressed a little bit here. And to that defensive line, yes, the defensive line is terrible. It's not going to be an easy fix. Nnamdi Madubuike might be the most significant loss injury-wise that this team has ever faced. They don't have a backup plan. They thought Travis Jones was going to be that guy, but it's clear that Travis Jones only works in tandem with a superior interior lineman. So him getting double teamed, he's nullified completely. And for the Ravens not to have any edge rushers to combat the loss of the interior pressure that they lost with Nnamdi Madubuike, you're starting to see it. I mean, defenses are just taking a toll on them. And on first down, when they're taking 7 or 8 yard chunks on the run, second and third down, second and third and short, this defense is not prepared to stop both the run and the pass. And that's what you're seeing. And we're losing, no Nnamdi Madubuike, no Roquan Smith, no Kyle Hamilton, no shot. I mean, this defense is just not going to be great. And now these guys are coming back. We're still going to suffer because we don't have Nnamdi Madubuike. It's going to take at least 2 acquisitions via trade for us to have any shot. They're going to need to get an interior pass rusher and a significant pass rusher in the edge. I don't see it happening, so I think our defense is going to struggle throughout the year regardless of what happens when Lamar Jackson gets back. Now, offense will be humming. I mean, the threat's there. DeAndre Hopkins is one of our best receivers, and he's like third on the maybe even 5th option as far as passing. He only gets 9 plays a game. So offense I'm not too worried about. I think once Lamar Jackson gets back, they'll makeshift the offensive line a little bit. They'll gel. They'll get points. But that defense is going to struggle all year. The Ravens they traded Rudolph Aowe, got a safety. They picked up C.J. Gardner from the Texans. Well, I guess not from the Texans because he was cut. But they picked him up. So they're going to try and play a little more big nickel. So 3 safeties on the field at the same time. So not much in the way of slot corner. So less Jair Alexander, less Marlon Humphrey. they're going to try and do something like that to garner pressure that way. But we're still trash. It's not going to change. The DC stinks. Our defensive coordinator is trash. He doesn't know how to call plays, so that's not going to work for us. So until they get rid of him, and there's nobody in the field besides Chuck Pagano, who's a DC currently helping out with the Ravens. If he comes in and beats DC, maybe there's a little bit of a shift, but the players suck. The coaching sucks. We suck. We're still winning the division. We might get to the playoffs, but we're not a threat at all this year. It's over.
And I wish you could say it was going to get any easier here, Sam, but you do have the Rams this upcoming week coming off of a bad loss that they wish they would have got or they could have back. So you're going to be catching them in prime form here. So we'll talk about that in just a second when we preview week 6. Before we do, we have habitual line stepper who's been waiting patiently in the background, a Patreon caller calling in to give his thoughts. Habitual line stepper, welcome on. Good to have you.
What's up, Z-Bot? What's up, fellas? Sam, got a question? I got 2 questions. One for Sam. Sam, do you think EDC survives this year with John Harbaugh, or he go with John Harbaugh, or does he survive and he put on his big boy pants and let John Harbaugh go? And Zim, it doesn't surprise me that your first thought was us, because we've been big brothering you for the past 2 seasons. So It doesn't surprise me when you got Flacco that your first thought was us. But do you really believe Flacco, like brother over there in the Browns, do you really believe Flacco gonna make it to Thanksgiving? Like, really? Do you really believe that? That's all I gotta say, brothers. Y'all enjoyed it.
Appreciate
Habitual, thanks as always. Couple of great questions there. Sam, we'll start with you there.
I like that guy, man.
Yeah, he's
Good
cool.
dude.
EDC's safe. EDC's not going anywhere. And if I'm being honest, and I hate saying this, but Harbaugh might be safe too. If this team turns around and get 9 wins, he's not going anywhere. These guys are all buddy. I was at the press conference when they hired John Harbaugh, and Steve Bisciotti made it very clear that he wanted to get another Bill Cowher in there who's going to be there through the thick of it. They trust John Harbaugh. I mean, it would take a money. They'd have to go 5-12 for them to get rid of John Harbaugh. I don't see that happening. So EDC is definitely not going anywhere. He's bulletproof. He's safe. But John Harbaugh, it's going to take a lot to get rid of him, I feel like, and it sucks to say it. So let's just try and win the division. But yeah, I don't think Harbs goes anywhere either.
Does Lamar Jackson want John Harbaugh?
I don't know for sure, but if I'm Lamar, I'm using my $72.5 million cap hit as ammunition. Either get me some Jamar Chases or T. Higgins, whatever you got to do. Even that's a tough ask for anybody.
How much help does he need?
I'm just saying, if I'm Lamar Jackson, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, get me an offensive line that's going to block. Use your pull to get it going. And if he's against John Harbaugh, use that as well. But yeah,
they gave him Jair, they gave him D-Hop, they gave him OBJ, they gave him everything. He's the best drafting. To the caller too. EDC is the best to me. I think he's better than Howie Roseman. In terms of drafting, I don't do anything in free agency. As far as drafting, bro, like he's top tier. But I wanted to answer his question. Habitual. You got to understand, I am an elite Bengals fan, but I'm also probably the greatest Raven hater to ever walk the planet Earth.
Top tier.
There aren't that many things that I'm good at in life. Like, I don't know. I'm not really that good with science and shit. I don't even know what, like, people, I don't know that type of stuff.
You can talk your ass off, boy.
I can talk, and when I talk, I am the greatest Raven hater. I'm just doing what I love. And when I wake up, and the first thing, I might grab my phone. I wake up early. So it might be like 6:30 or something like that. I'm thinking, like, how can I shit on the Ravens today? Like, that's what makes me who I am. That's what fulfills me. And that makes me whole. So I appreciate the call. But I just wanted you to know that is my gift to you. You'll always have someone that hates you at the highest of levels. It puts a lot of work into it too.
Crazy.
It's pretty impressive what you do, Zim. You're one of the best in the business at doing what you do, and that's taking a dump on the Ravens. And right now, they're giving you every opportunity in the world to do it. So you're maximizing right now. Listen, you're just Yeah, you're an expert in the field, and right now you got all the ammunition. You're letting it fly. So once again, Habitual, thanks for calling in. Anytime anybody would like to call in, you're welcome to do so. Just become a Patreon member. Link in the description below. Click that, sign up, and you can join in on the conversation just like Habitual just did. All right, we're going to turn the page to week 6 here in just a second. Before let's give a shout out to, as I come back in, our friends over at Sleeper. Let's build a Sleeper picks, gentlemen. Let's talk about the Thursday night game tomorrow. I know we all can't wait for this barn burner between the Eagles and the Giants in prime time. Let's take a peek here. Let's build a quick slip and see if we can cash in. We thinking Saquon scoring, coming back to New York. I got a feeling that's probably a safe one to put in here, right? So we'll lock him in for a touchdown.
They got to throw in a touchdown.
Did y'all see that meeting that he had with Devonta and AJ Brown? I think that's worth like a little bit of sprinkle. They said that he talked to him for hours.
Yeah.
Earlier.
AJ Brown. Oh yeah, 2 hours I heard. So you're thinking AJ Brown yards? This keeps disappearing on me.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. But the Saquon revenge game, you saw what Diggs just did to you. I think Saquon is on that same type of time, bro.
All right, so we're going to do Saquon touchdown. We're going to do A.J. Brown more than 51.5 pass yards. And at the sake of this thing falling off on me once again, let's go. What do you think here? Jackson Dart, let's do a line on him. This will be the first time a lot of people watch him, and it's his first primetime game. What do we think? More or less 175.5 through the air.
Who are they playing?
The Eagles.
Oh, no.
All right, let's go less. Let's do that.
He got rushing yards on there?
I was say, what's that rushing?
Let me take a seek. Let me take a peek.
You're thinking like me. I think you're going to get a couple scrambles off.
37.5. Would you rather go with that?
That's kind of.
He be running that thing, man.
That's true.
I think for sure I would have locked in at 20-something. But that you got the under 173, you said?
175.5.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like either. I don't like that number.
Those are both tough.
They had Dylan Gabriel at 170 something. I was like, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
I like that Saquon that you was talking earlier though. Like I like the anytime touchdown from Saquon.
It's been 2 weeks since Miles got a sack. Just throw that on there.
Well, I don't think that's up yet. I'm going to get rid of that dart play just because I think let's go with the rushing. I think they're going to want to unleash him on Thursday night. They might not be able to air it out because they don't have any receivers to throw it to. So let's go with his rushing there. Let's do more than 37.5 rush yards. So our slip, Barkley to get in the end zone, A.J. Brown more than 51.5 receiving yards, and Jackson Dart more than 37.5 rush yards. That's good for a multiplier of 4.5x if you want to tell that or create your own. Do so via the link in the description below. Click that, download the Sleeper app, then use the promo code on your screen, RTS. That'll get you a 100% match up to $100 on your first deposit. Currently available in over 25 states. Terms and conditions apply. Check out Sleeper's terms of use for details and check out Sleeper in the link in the description below today. All right, let's pivot to week 6. We look ahead to the slate within the AFC North. And where should we begin? Well, we just talked about those Ravens, so let's go back to those Ravens. They're taking on the LA Rams, one of the best teams in the NFC, coming off a tough loss on Thursday Night Football against division rival San Francisco. So Baltimore, we're feeling as though they're not going to have Lamar Jackson in this one. The Vegas line would indicate that. So could get ugly. Will it get ugly? Mark, talk to me.
Yeah, I think the Rams crush them again. I think if they're going to play, what's the quarterback's name again?
Cooper
Rush, baby.
They're talking about potentially getting Tyler Huntley in there, so keep that in mind. A little secret sauce I'm throwing out there for you guys.
How potential is that? Like a maybe, or is he like third quarterback?
I'd say about 30%. He's the backup.
So he's the third backup.
Yeah.
I think Rams play. If the Rams playing, they're playing in Ravens land again.
Yeah, they're playing in Baltimore.
Nah, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. With no Lamar Jackson, the defense still stinks. I think because if they're allowing 40 points, I think Matthew Stafford and those fellas, they're trying to win the NFC West as well. I like that guy, Kyron Williams. He's running really good. Matthew Stafford finding his targets. I think they'll win this game. Ravens going to turn it around. I don't think they will. They're 1-5. I think Rams win 34-17, something like that. I don't know until they can figure out the defense. That's crazy to me that the Ravens, they're allowing 35 points a game for a Ravens defense, and that is absolutely insane for our AFC North division.
Crazy. They're on pace to allow 600 points in a season. I don't think it's ever been done before. So wild right now what's going on with the Ravens. D. Zay, will that be their demise on Sunday against the Rams?
Baltimore is falling down, falling down, falling down. Baltimore is falling down. Lamar's going in with them. I don't know. All I know is 1-5 incoming. It would be so sweet. I mean, I haven't been able to fully enjoy, this downfall for the Baltimore Ravens. And Zim, I'm sorry, as a fellow AFC brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be right there, locked arm, and you throwing a tarnish on the Ravens. Unfortunately, I've been psychologically just in depression over here with the Cleveland Browns, and I have to. But I'm telling you, I'm enjoying this, and I'm about to start piling it on myself. So I'm riding all the way this thing to the ground. Lose to the Rams, lose to the Bears. You're going to find a way to lose to the Dolphins at 10 on prime time Thursday night. And you're going to lose to the Vikings. And you're going to lose to the Browns. And then you're going to be like, oh, my God, we got to get me out of here. And then Sam going to be like, oh, he ain't even going to be here. He going to be on the black screen because that life support that he was on, he's just going to be cooped up. And I'm just going to be so happy. So I'm taking losses for the rest of the time until Lamar Jackson shows me otherwise. Rams by $1 billion.
We giving Sam so much ammo.
Crazy, bro. I can't wait.
Look, if they come back and win these games, bro, Sam should come back on a heater, boy.
I can't wait.
Zay's coming for your crown, Zim. He's trying to take over as top Ravens hater. So currently you are wearing the crown. Go ahead and flex it. What do you think's happening on Sunday?
I got the Rams as one of my potential. I think they're going to be in the NFC Championship. That defensive line is disgusting. I don't care if Tyler Huntley out there. He's going to be running for his life. Like, that's an L. That's an L. Like, I don't know what else to tell you on that one. The interesting storyline that I want to see is remember a week ago, Sam said he wouldn't be panicked. I don't remember many things, but I remember Sam's quotes for some reason. He said he wouldn't be panicked until he was 1-5. So he's definitely going to be panicked. I saw him in the IR earlier as the show started. But I'm going to tell you, the question that people were asking me about tanking and all that other stuff like that, I want to see is Lamar even going to want to come back to 1-6, 1-5, 1-6? Because the Bears ain't no joke either. And that to me is the real storyline. Because when he first came out, because remember Sam's first tweet was the viral tweet about
you couldn't.
I don't know. Sam, like you might gotta fill in the blank because I don't know what you were trying to see.
I got you. I'm a hater too. So you couldn't pay a Ravens fan to believe that he was injured and he didn't pull himself.
Right. So are we to believe that he's going to still be injured just like he was in 2022 when he had a sprained PCL for 7+ weeks? When I watched my quarterback play in a Super Bowl with the same injury, injured mid-game and finished the game out. Are we to believe at 1-5, 1-6 that this hammy is just a hammy that we've never seen before? That's the real storyline here. Because ain't no way in hell they beating the Rams.
The crazy thing, though, is the division's wide open. I don't understand the advantage there for him unless the whole contract leverage is already starting to be played out there. But Sam, I mean, you tell me here, what's going down Sunday and what's going on with Lamar based on what Zim's saying here? Because, you look down the pipe here. What do you think he's thinking?
Couple of things. First, Lamar's going to play against the Bears. That, at least after the bye, that's the hope. If he doesn't play against the Bears, that's when I'm going to start having those thoughts. But right now, I'm giving him the grace from what I'm hearing from inside the facility from various sources. He's actually hurt, so I'll take him at their word. But that Bears game, that's going to be the one. If he's not out there, then I'm going to have some questions about what he's thinking about this football team. And my second point is, shout outs to the Browns and Bengals fans, the teams that go through this every year. And still come out on this show, still come on in the comments, propping up their team. Y'all some real dudes. I was going to say what I really wanted to say, but y'all know what I mean. Y'all some real ones, bro.
Yeah, turn up, Sam.
We haven't felt this way Ravens flock in so long. Like, I don't understand how y'all do it. So shout outs to y'all for sure, because God, I can't keep doing this for sure. But to get to this game, we're going to get waxed. 34-17, Mark, is very, very, I would say, gracious of you. I don't see them putting up any less than 45 on us. Our defense is atrocious. The game plan that they have coming into this game, put 3 safeties. You don't got no pass rush. It won't matter what you got out there. You're going to need some guys that can cover. And a third safety is not going to do that for you. So they got some work cut out for them. Hopefully Lamar Jackson comes back and tries to turn it around. But this defense is not it. We're going to get smoked. But after this game, we're going to come back, hopefully. But, yeah, this game, give me 45 to 10 again. I think it's just same old for the Ravens. This defense is not it. This offense without Lamar Jackson isn't humming. The offensive line's terrible. No penetration. No shot.
Who gets 100 yards first, Puka or Devonta?
Puka. But they're both going to get it. Don't worry. Everybody going to eat tonight. Everybody going to eat. Trust me.
Who's going to eat in the battle of Mark versus Zay this upcoming Sunday? The Pittsburgh Steelers coming off the bye. The Cleveland Browns coming off that tough international loss this past Sunday morning. AFC North battle. Doesn't get better than this. Zim, I'll start with you. Who takes this interdivisional battle?
Mark, you're going to like this one. I don't know why this every week I feel like me and Zay, for whatever reason, I didn't see this before all of this show started, that I understand the hate watching and I understand all these different things, whatever. I understand that I've never wanted to lock arms with you ever before, but now I feel like it's our duty to put a lot of these different teams in their place. And I didn't like that comment, Sam, about us every year when the Bengals are coming off of 4 straight winning seasons, even with our quarterback
out.
What I mean. Yeah, but I remember when your quarterback was out, you went 8-9 and you were last in the division. So we're not the same in that regard. I also won back-to-back division titles. So please don't, do that. But Steelers, I'm not impressed with Aaron Rodgers. I'm telling you, he's funny money. He's a $3 bill. I watched this dude throw that 80-yard pass to DK, and outside of that, he was Dylan Gabriel for the rest of the game. He was 120 yards. He threw for a total 200 last week. The Browns defense is disgusting. I think that they shut down Mark, and he takes Mark's silly little smirk off his face because he's walking around here talking about, I'm 3-1. I didn't hang the banner. I'm 3-1, bloke. See, look at me. I'm 3-1. Like, no, that shit is over, Mark. This is it. Browns in this game. I like them by 10 points.
Wow, Browns by double digits. The team that hasn't cracked 20 is going to win by 10.
And I will say this too. The same way I said Sam's defensive line is dog shit. What if I told you the Steelers' offensive line is dog shit?
Would you believe him? Would you believe him, Sam? What are you thinking about this? You thinking the same as Zim here? A Browns upset against the Steelers on Sunday?
Zim is cooking. The offensive line of the Steelers is trash. I don't trust Dylan Gabriel. That is my whole thing. I think the defense of the Browns is going to shut down the Steelers. They may get lucky play here and there. They're good for one turnover that turns the tide every game. That's what the Steelers do. But Dylan Gabriel is going to be the story here. And I know the defense has struggled a little bit. Still don't trust TJ Watt to not have an impact on this game. I will say this. The Browns do have pretty good tackles to work with. So I don't know. They have terrible tackles. What am I talking about? The interior of their line is good. The tackles are terrible, which gives me more reason. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Steelers. I picked the Steelers to win this game. I don't want them to win. I'm avidly rooting for the Browns to win this game, to keep the Ravens in this thing, but Dylan Gabriel's concerns me, so I'll go Steelers.
Shit, you just gave me, hold up, I might need to
Forgot about them tackles,
Browns.
huh?
No, I need to get the Browns the hell up out of here so that I can make my pathway. I'm not going to change my. Damn, you cook with that.
Well, either way, you're getting somebody out of the way slightly here. So we'll see what happens. Somebody's got to lose. Mark, I got to start with you here because I got to let you defend yourself against Zim because he's coming at your Pittsburgh Steelers. So go ahead and defend your Pittsburgh Steelers.
I couldn't give two shits what they both think. So get ready to clip this and make it a video. Ready?
Here's
some stats for you. Clip this. When going against rookie quarterbacks, Mike Tomlin is 25-6. Mike Tomlin is 14-4 after a bye. Mike Tomlin versus the Browns is 26-8-1. Aaron Rodgers versus the Browns is 3-0. The last Browns regular season win in Pittsburgh was 2003, 22 years ago. That was with Tim Couch and Tommy Maddox. I was fucking 14 years of age. Haven't hit fucking puberty yet. The Browns versus Steelers have only had one win in a playoff win since then, and that was in 2021, right? And also that was their one playoff win in 25 years. The Steelers have had 15 quarterbacks since 1999. The Browns have had 41 Steelers win.
What's the final?
That fucking doesn't matter. 30-0?
Doesn't matter. Win's a win. How about that? Clip it up.
The Browns will not win in Pittsburgh. It won't happen.
30-0. Okay.
He's saying no chance here, Zay. He's saying no chance.
Listen to how this is how it's funny because they're talking about how Mark, he's representing Steelers fans perfectly right now because that's all you guys do is live in the freaking past. You just named off a bunch of pointless stats that not one person cares about.
They're not pointless. That's we every year.
Mattered most in 2020. You guys got your ass beat at y'all stadium that you failed to just gloss over like we haven't beat y'all.
No, I said that. One win, you had one playoff win.
It doesn't matter. We kicked y'all ass, and it's fresh still in the big. Look, I got a big forehead. It's still right here. Y'all got it on the same spot, too. My landing strip is just bigger than y'all's. But when it's all said and done, Mark, I've been telling you.
What?
Landing strip for Zay. Come on now.
A landing strip?
It's the beginning of time that you guys are on the brink of crumbling. And what better way than the Myles Garrett to sack Aaron Rodgers' ass into darkness for another 2 weeks? Then we gonna finally break our 20-point streak against y'all bum asses, and then we gonna go on to win 2-3 in a row, and then we talking about paths being cleared. Zem, you ain't got no path, all right? Because perfect timing is short. I mean, Dylan we gonna have to get the win this week, Dylan. But then after that, my watch is probably gonna be up, and then we gonna make the real run. But when it's all said and done, let's get real. Let's get real quick. The Steelers are ass. This is all fluke. Very deja vu. Like, I'm surprised Mark doesn't have his glasses on. This is the first time I've ever seen Mark wear a Pittsburgh jersey in the 2 years we've been doing this together. He ain't a real fan, so he's just living in fairy tale land right now.
I ain't a real fan. I ain't in Nuremberg right now at 1:30 a.m. I ain't a fucking real fan. Get fucked.
Hear it, blow. I don't want to freaking hear it. All right. I don't want to hear it.
Bullshit. I ain't a real fan. I'm in Nuremberg right now at 1:30 a.m.
Get him, Mark. Get him.
21-18.
The whole franchise is a joke. You haven't won the division since 1999. Mike Tomlin is king against rookie quarterbacks. Mike Tomlin, those stats do matter because we verse you each every year.
You want to talk about familiar games? You lost the DTR. I don't want to hear it.
I can't take you seriously right now at all. A 1-4 team.
Let's talk about recent history. You guys lost the DTR. You lost with Big Ben. Like, I mean, what type of Steelers organization are you trying to back right now when you've lost to some of the most pitiful stuff that you could ever see? Who loses the DTR? Y'all sorry asses. That y'all hold that title, hang that in your rafters, and then talk about that in 10 years.
I can't wait till next week because there's no chance. Like a 1-4 team is talking this much smack. It makes absolutely no sense.
Talking about in it.
You keep trying to say that the Steelers are going to fall in the same way. The Browns can't get out of their own way. The Browns have been the Browns for so very long. And each and every year you fall in the same trap. You've started 41 quarterbacks since the time of this. Like, I've never seen you guys win the division ever.
And you still lose to us. You lost to Jameis. You lost to DTR. You lost with Big Ben. I mean, like, you guys talk about this so much, but what have y'all really beat us when it mattered? Like, what are we talking about here? We have the most recent wins that matter. You guys don't.
Yeah, that one recent win that matters is the one playoff win you won since 2000.
And you haven't won since 11 years. It's been 11 years since you guys have won.
It's more than 11, bro.
You guys are the new Cincinnati Bengals. You guys need to draft. Yes, you are. Because the Bengals lost in the first round for 10 years in a row with that one dude, that one bloke.
You're telling me.
So you're basically the new Bengals.
That's crazy. You're telling me that one win, which I gave you credit for in my Clippard speech, I said the one win was 2021. I read it was against the Steelers.
2020. You know when it was.
Whenever it was, I don't fucking care. And it was the one win you've had in 20 years.
It was the one win that mattered.
That's the bigger difference.
It was the one win that
no
mattered.
sense to me. Mike Tomlin owns the Browns. The Steelers own the Browns at home. There's one win you've had there. One win.
You guys are you act like you have owned us as of late. As of late, you guys don't really want to see us. You guys are scared to see us. You guys benched George Pickens the second time around and faked an injury because y'all was afraid he was going to knock y'all asses out the playoffs. You forgot about that.
I honestly can't take you guys seriously at all. I won on 14, giving the Steelers disrespect for being 3-1. And you guys, when I've been in Europe, you've all lost every game, 0-6. And by next week, it'll be 0-5. You'll still try and bring me down, which you can't.
Makes no sense. Bloke at the nightclub when he pull out that, this gonna kill him. Nah, that killed them 20 years ago when y'all was relevant. Hang that shit the fuck up. Nobody want to see them weak ass.
You've never been relevant.
Statistics that y'all got.
In my lifetime, you've never won a fucking division. There's only 14. That's 25% chance.
You haven't beat
25% chance to win. You've never won one.
You haven't even. What's the feel like?
You can almost fall into a fucking division. You could. This is the best chance to fall into the division.
You ain't even had that
best chance right now for you to fall into the division. You still lose. Ravens going bad. Browns have no quarterback, and you're playing bad. Even 1-4. Steelers have a tough schedule. You still fucking fall when you won't win.
And you guys can't win a playoff game. You're the best organization ever. You can't win a playoff game. Crazy how that works.
Closer than you, mate.
Have fun.
Everything you say, I can counteract it every single time. I can counteract. Doesn't matter.
Wait, this is the same. This is literally a repeat of 2 years ago when they were 11-0. Like, I mean, I just cannot wait till you guys get started. That was the year we whooped y'all last.
What score were you?
That was the year we whooped y'all last.
What spell? It was 1-1, mate. It was 1-1.
I'm just.
I don't forget. It was 1-1. But what? Okay, what was your record last year?
Mark, I know we're gonna have Bubba in here next week because you're not gonna make it.
I'm making it now. 134 in fucking Nuremberg.
It's gonna be on Bubba. Well, I'll see you next week, man. I know Mark's gonna be sick or flight got
crazy. You're so crazy, dude.
I already know what time it is.
Absolutely crazy. You're waiting for the new fucking stadium, which will do nothing for you.
I'll see you next week.
You'll go 35 yards down to the left or to the right. It won't matter.
I gotta tell you, fellas,
Z-Bot letting that play out is diabolical.
It's wild, bro. The Browns talk all the smack. They've never won the division since I've been alive, which is wild.
The Ravens like how I hate the Steelers. I cannot stand the Steelers.
I used to hate the Steelers like that, but they're not good anymore. So like, it lost its luster.
Y'all don't look at that. Even Bengals fans,
Mark is like.
Oh, he's a mental.
This is the reality. This is what happens when you talk to us fans to the other teams, Mark. This is just.
I understand that, but the losing is 0-6 right now, and you try and bring this the one that's winning down, and it makes no sense.
Exactly.
And for a Browns team to say we're going to go into their house, they have only won one time in 20-something years.
Misery loves company, man. You coming with us? Sorry.
Can I tell you that you gentlemen, I think, have done a great job promoting the game more than any other outlet on the internet right now. And anybody that's watching this right now, please do yourself a favor and your fan base a favor and let them know all the shit talking that just went down and that they need to come back to the show the following week.
I've had my reasons the ultimate being here.
I wasn't even locked in. Now I'm watching this game.
I was in the air flying to fucking Dublin to go support my team. And when he calls me not a real fan, that's fucking shit weak.
I knew you weren't going to like that one.
I knew you weren't like that.
I knew you weren't going to like that one.
I'm flying 25 hours to Dublin. He's like, no, you don't know. Babble, come in. Because I'm flying in a plane, bro. Ain't no Wi-Fi in the plane.
Mark, relax, boy, relax.
Mark, I'm not gonna relax because it makes no sense.
Don't you dare relax.
Just wait.
Football made up shit. It looks all like made up stuff. From a Browns fan.
Mark, do you think Zay would have flown 25 hours round trip to go watch them Browns?
He wouldn't fly 2.5 hours to watch them play.
You're built different.
You are built different. That's a
Zim, you literally stole the words directly out of my brain. I didn't give a rat's ass about this game. I mean, this game would have been getting up. I would have been getting updates about this game from my man Scott Hansen. Okay, in the corner TV. Not anymore. This is prime real estate. I'm tuning in. I'm tuning in, and you better be sure you all should be tuning in next week. AFC North Roundtable. Because I got Mark saying there ain't a shot in hell that Zay's Browns are winning.
And I got nothing.
Yeah, and I got Zay telling me, listen, these Steelers, I don't care what their record is, they're nothing. So you better be here next week. We'll be recapping this one in a serious way. All right. Speaking of the Browns, their former quarterback's going to be leading the way for the Cincinnati Bengals this upcoming weekend. And it's not going to be an easy task for Joe Flacco in his first start with Cincinnati. They're going to be taking on the 2-1-1 Green Bay Packers, Micah Parsons, Jordan Love, and company at Lambeau Field, the late afternoon game here. Mark, I'll kick it off with you here. You think the Bengals got a shot with Joe Flacco against the Pack?
I'll be quick because I'm not a real fan, and I'm fucking got to get to bed very soon. Joe Flacco is not having 4 days of preparation to go and beat the Packers again. There's no way the Packers and Micah Parsons let him win twice. Not going to happen. That's my pick. Packers win 28-19 or some shit.
Great point you make. You imagine the Pack's 2 losses being only to Joe Flacco to start the season. That would be something. That's what's on the line here. Sam, is there a possibility Joe Flacco goes 2-0 against these Packers?
You just brought up an interesting point. He's played this team before.
Yeah.
So the preparation isn't necessarily as hard as it would be for a new guy going to a team. Man, that's interesting. I will say this is my litmus test for the Bengals. This is the litmus test to see how good their defense is. I mean, the Packers have an offense and not like super powered by any stretch of the imagination. And as Zim mentioned, the Bengals did do a good job, at least early on, containing that Detroit Lions offense that gave the Ravens fits. Of course, every team is giving the Ravens fits. But this would be a good litmus test to see how this Bengals defense does. If they do show up the way they did in the first half against the Lions, they could win this game. They absolutely could win this game. I am going to pick the Green Bay Packers to win simply because I think Micah Parsons is going to be a problem for Joe Flacco. But if this game goes the other way and the Bengals win it, then unfortunately I'm nervous about the Bengals again, which would suck. So hopefully the Packers win. I'm picking the Packers.
Zay, Joe Flacco got the W for your Browns against these Packers. Will he do the same for Zim's Bengals?
Oh, well, there's a big difference between Joe Flacco and the Browns and Joe Flacco and the Bengals. He don't got that top 2 defense out there. So we held the Packers under 13 points. And unfortunately, I don't think the Bengals defense can do that. So it's looking like Joe Burrow's going to have to sling it. They're going to have to put up points. They're going to have to put up that 30-piece, 25-piece, because Jordan Love and them boys just put up 40 on Dallas. I mean, besides us, they've gone 27, 27, and 20. So they're going to score the ball. I have to see it first, but I'm still going to go Packers. So give me the Packers. We'll go 27-18, 27-17, Packers.
Zim, does Joe Flacco steal the cheese off the heads of the Packer faithful twice this season, twice before Halloween?
This is such a tough game for me to pick because I've gone against the Bengals for the last 2 weeks. I hate to do it. I got the Packers in this one. But I don't think it boils down to what does Joe Flacco do? I think it's really about the defense. I think we get Shamar Stewart back this week. We had 4 sacks against Goff last week. The Packers offensive line has had weak spots at different times. I think the game is very, very close. I think if you're a Bengals fan, you're probably looking for Flacco to get the ball just one more time. I think it'd be a really good starting point. And I think we play a team that everybody knows the week after that. And I feel way more confident in that game. But in this one, I'm going to go with the Packers. I hate to do it. I'm going to say, let's go 23-21.
23-21. All right, so you got a good game at least, and you got Joe Flacco keeping it close, so we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting, though. I can't wait for that game, but, man, I really can't wait. I'm actually excited to watch Joe Flacco with the Bengals because, like we talked about tonight, it really could be interesting with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, so we'll see what happens. But, man, I'm really interested for that Steelers-Browns game now. That's going to be incredible. You're not going to want to miss next week's episode when we recap it. So make sure to join us. Same place, same time. AFC North Roundtable YouTube channel, 6 p.m. Eastern, next Wednesday evening. But for tonight, that's going to do it. For Mark, Zay, Zim, and Sam. Actually, hold on. Time out. Before I sign off, I saw 2 super chats I got to get to out of the corner of my eye. So I apologize to Seeking King of the Seas, who says Ravens going to the Super Bowl. Steelers having fun with their cupcake schedule so far. Bengals are terrible. Browns are the Browns. So saith King of the Seas. He also comes back in and says, all right, Zim, you've been my least favorite part of this show since I started watching, and you're proving my point. Damn.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you very much.
Maybe Joe Flacco. Go ahead, Sim. Sorry.
I was just gonna say that warms my heart, and I really appreciate that. Thank you. That is the best compliment that you could give me, and I definitely appreciate that. Thank you.
King of the Seas, we appreciate you warming
it. Are you streaming the game?
I'm not even sure where. No, I'll be in Prague. I might go down the bar to watch it.
Okay. I was gonna say,
is that where real Steelers fans hang out?
I was gonna say, I think Zay thinks you're probably not even tuning in, Mike.
Fucking wild to me, eh? I'll be at the bar somewhere on my Game Pass on my phone.
Mark ain't never gonna let you forget about that one.
He's gonna get you. So
that's crazy, dude. It's crazy.
Goodness gracious, Mark, come on,
from
bro.
Pittsburgh. Every fucking month I get it from someone. Is it someone in the chat or someone on the street? Someone, doesn't matter. I always get that. Don't worry about that.
Mark, I was we got in here.
Hey, Z-Bot, you gotta go on that Zay stream though. You gotta go that to watch the emotions, the ups and the downs, and the highs and lows. Go and jump on it because it's
crazy in these streams too. As of late too, I'm definitely not looking forward to the Steelers fans this week because I already know how y'all get. Y'all get very aggravating fast.
Oh, I'll be in the comment.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and hopefully the man behind you there, Zay, doesn't take too much of a beating this upcoming Sunday. Well, we'll find out, and we'll recap it next week. It should be fun. Can't wait to see you then. But in the meantime, we're signing off tonight. For Mark, Zay, Zim, and Sam, I'm your host, Z-Bot. Thanks so much, as always, for tuning in to the AFC North Roundtable, and we'll see you on the next one.
Roundtable Sports Network is your one-stop shop for all things NFL, with daily live shows covering all 8 divisions in the league, hosted by the best content creators on the web, all on one network. Catch the AFC East live every Monday at 7 p.m. and on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. The AFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. The AFC North Roundtable live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. The AFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. The NFC East Roundtable live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. The NFC West Roundtable live at 9 p.m. on Tuesday nights. The NFC North Roundtable is at 6 p.m. on Wednesdays, and the NFC South Roundtable is live Tuesdays at 8 p.m. EST. And of course, fourth and forever, the flagship show of Roundtable Sports Network covering all things NFL at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Roundtable Sports YouTube channel. Real coverage, real fans.